Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on this wonderful planet. And once again, I'm with the inestimable Sally Estlin. Hi, Sally.
Good morning, Harry. How are you? How's the weather up there, actually?
Look, perfect. This time of the year is perfect in Canberra. We get 30-degree days,
Oh,
10-degree nights, and it's low humidity. And the sky's blue, and occasionally we get rain. So nothing
oh,
more.
perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Love it.
Starting to
Love it.
feel autumn in the air here. Same thing.
Oh, well, it's been dry here, so some of the trees are turning already.
Yeah, same.
Mm.
Dry summer, I think it's been for a very long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Global warming.
It's not today's topic, but it should be one day.
We could do one on global warming one day. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So today I'm going to ask you for help to navigate this topic. And it's good to ask you for help, Sally.
I know. Well, this is actually
because
something.
I don't have all the answers.
No, well, either do I, and it's something that I find very challenging and confronting, but something that I've had to, just through necessity, do. And it's all about just accepting help from others and asking for help. So my title today is Just Say Thanks. Don't let it all come to you. It's all about having the courage to ask for help, but getting over that fear fence of like, oh, no, I can't ask. Oh, with lots of fears of being rejected, fear of imposing upon others, fears of appearing to be needy. There's so many reasons why. And also pride comes into it, trying to be a perfectionist, trying to do everything, be everything to everyone. And it's exhausting. And over time, when you keep doing it, and I know this myself, first of all, you get worn out and then you become resentful. Like, what the F? What am I doing this for? They're not even grateful, not even accepting, understanding what I've had to put up with it. I was actually talking with some friends on the weekend. They're total givers, and but won't accept help themselves. And then they become resentful when they get exhausted from it all. So I think.
And why do you think it is? I mean, I've been thinking about this over the last week since you raised this topic. And there are obviously times when I felt, with some good reason, that I might be considered a fraud or incompetent if I'd asked for help. So there was a time when I worked for Myer in the marketing department, and believe it or not, I never studied marketing. So I was asked questions as a manager, I was asked questions by my subordinates, and I didn't know what the words meant. I had to go and look them up. So that was a bit traumatic, but I just wonder what it is in me that makes it so difficult to ask for help sometimes. Because it is a bit of a raw nerve, this topic.
Yeah, well, I think it does come down to that fear as well as your pride, just fear of that in that case, you didn't know enough or you're not qualified enough to be doing what you're doing. I mean, that's a bit of the psychology behind it. But, it's funny you say that about marketing, because I was in marketing many moons ago, and it's based on common sense. Yes, you can get all the big words, but it's really common sense. You just break it back and it's quite simple. But powerful.
That's right. But there's a terminology in marketing which I just had to learn. It is common sense. But I remember the woman I reported to, who we recruited from Kodak, she said about marketing that if you can't smell and feel and touch the brand, it hasn't been marketed properly.
Yeah, good one. I love that.
And not many brands have that capability. Yeah.
Now, coming back to your point, I think pride is a big thing. Pride,
and I think fear. Fear's massive. Am I going to look incompetent? Am I going to look like a fraud? Am I going to seem weak? I'm not too worried about being rejected. That's fine. Someone can say no, but am I going to look an idiot? But not too worried about that these days.
So I mean, pride is a big thing, and ego that comes into it as well. But it is such, as we discuss most weeks, it's such a fast-paced world with huge expectations on us. It's a 24/7 world, and you're trying to be all things to all people and get all things done. And you just get worn out, and it's not important at the end of the day. So I've done a beautiful little model this week, Harry. Little Venn diagrams, 3 circles. In one of them I've written, and it's not in palette, but it's, you know, powerful. One of them is let go. So let go of things that aren't so important, let go of being a perfectionist, let go of, you know, things that, as I said, aren't important, so prioritize. The second one is ask for help. So like literally delegate, or, you know, after you've got your things that aren't important, the things that other people can help you with, just ask them to do it. I mean, even your kids, and that's a whole other story. And the third circle I've put in is gratitude, you know, just to have thanks for what you are able to do, and have thanks that others can step up and help you. I mean, because in, you know, for people to actually help you, it actually gives them more joy as well. So it's a win-win situation when you know.
And one of the things that underpins your second point, asking for help, is to understand where your strengths and weaknesses lie.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
And is this something, a weakness, and therefore better off if somebody else?
Absolutely, because I actually wrote that down. Accepting help is a strength, it's not a weakness. And it ultimately makes you happier and makes others who can help you happier as well. So it is a total win-win. So getting back to my little model, if you let go of things that aren't so important and are able to ask for help and delegate, at the end of the day, you have more time to focus with quality time with your family or whatever it is, but on more time to focus on the things that satisfy your soul rather than crush your soul. And then once you ask for help and delegate out and have that gratitude of what you have in your life, all the positive stuff, then you're going to have less stress. You're just going to have less burdens, less of that mind stuff going on, because you feel more free and have more space.
Yeah.
And then finally, when you let go of things that aren't so important and have that gratitude of what you do have and the gratitude of what's in your life, then you're going to have more energy, because you're not racing around, you're not so time poor, and your strength and energy comes back up so that you can focus on things that are important to you. And ultimately, when you do all those 3 things, let go, ask for help, and have gratitude, you just have so much more peace in your life, ability to have a much simpler life and a more rewarding life. So that's my little,
That's great. So, you know, with this topic, I was reminded of the quote of an American called John Donne. And I'm sure you've heard this quote: "No man is an island unto himself."
Yeah.
What that speaks to is the need for us all to be part of a community.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
So there's a couple of books on this topic, because it's a big topic. It's a common topic. It's not an unusual issue.
Yep.
It's really common. So there's a guy called, and I'll put this up on the blog post. So there's a guy called Nora Clavier who wrote Mayday, Asking for Help in Times of Need.
Oh, I love it.
That was in 2007. So another guy called Garrett Kaiser wrote a book called Help, The Original Human Dilemma, published by HarperCollins, 2004. And underpinning both of these books and many of the other books that have been written on the topic is the fact that most people delay asking for help. Sometimes they delay so long, like that they go bankrupt, or their business fails, or their marriage fails,
or the body falls apart, you know, or
the timeline goes by, and then what you could have delivered is no longer relevant.
Yeah. And particularly, not that we're getting into this, but with mental illness, you know, asking for help when you actually are starting to sink. You know, I think we were talking about last week, there's the hand as if you're drowning, the hand's like going underwater, all you can see is his hand up there, you know, and that's when you've let it go too far. Like, you know, from a physical point of view, you know, your hormones are all over the place, you're depleted, adrenally fatigued, so many complications. And it's only when your body starts talking to you that you're going, hang on a minute, stop and pause. What can I do differently? Help.
I hope I can find a picture for the blog that is a hand reaching out of water.
Just ask me later. I've got a perfect one. Okay. We've got it in our webinars. Okay.
So email it to me. So in terms of, you know, you've touched on the need for courage. You've touched on the contamination of the word help, that it's a form of weakness. but actually by activating your courage, by being vulnerable, by being open to learn and connect, you actually show strength.
Absolutely. Brene Brown, the power of vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's a giant in the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my model was about firstly being aware that you're stuck, aware that you're that's going to lead into stress and anxiety.
Yeah.
So this is where I am. I'm stuck. Then admit that you can't solve the problem that you have in front of you in a timely manner.
Yep.
And then ask for help.
Yep. Fantastic.
So I've got a good palette. So if you're aware of being stuck and you admit you could use help, that triggers the opportunity to be courageous.
Yeah, nice one.
And then if you admit you can use help and you ask for help, that is really implementing change.
Mm-hmm.
Change. And then when you've asked for help and you're aware, it allows you to connect. And then ultimately, it provides the opportunity to collaborate.
I love that, because we were just saying the power of that collaboration, because it's a win-win, happiness on both sides. That feel-good factor that you've helped somebody, and then the gratitude of having someone help you. It's awesome. I've got a stat here that it was around millennials. So for millennials, it's their top third priority in life is helping others in need. It's one of the most important things after being a good parent and having a successful marriage is about helping people. It's 21% of them want to help others in need. And I think I've thrown this stat up before, but 78% of women put themselves last after looking after the kids. Looking after pets was number 2, looking after elderly relatives. And they're at the bottom of the list. There's no time left, no energy, because their priority isn't on themselves, and it's doing everything for everyone else and not asking for help. So, yeah. And as I said before, just simple things in the house, like, I do everything for the kids, got 4 ones, lazy as ever, but it's just like, no, I'm just not doing it. Like, can you please help me? And so when they actually see that I can't manage it all, rather than get them to focus, it's such a relief. It's such a relief. Yeah.
But I just wonder about the gender distribution of this, because women naturally connect and socialize better than men.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if men actually aren't stuck in this rut deeper than women are.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is getting quite deep, but the responsibilities on their shoulders rather than, I don't know.
I mean, if they're in the corporate world,
mm-hmm.
and they're stressed by that, then you've got to perform and so on. There's expectations on you to be big and strong and productive and so on. And then you come home and you're worn out and you don't want to talk about work. So maybe
well, I mean, this is a whole other topic, but depression amongst men. And it's, it's the stats are huge around, I think, 45 to 48, not asking for help, keeping it all within, and I don't even want to talk about, but the suicide rate amongst that age group is huge. It's enormous, and it's all about not asking for help when they're not feeling right. So that's on a different level of asking for help. We're talking about in just mundane sort of bits and pieces, or not mundane, but it's on all levels about asking for help and having courage, overcoming once again to do it. Yeah.
And youth, not just that age group, youth suicide is a crisis.
13-year-olds, I think, are one of the highest levels. It's just, it's frightening. It churns my stomach, and I get it. But, empowering yourself, particularly when you have the experience and knowledge and wisdom in your 40s, to like man up and just empower yourself and be real. It's okay. I mean, that's where you've got the facade of I'm strong, I'm tough, and too much of that male energy. Tap more in and get the balance of the female energy. It's like, I'm just not coping. I'm just not coping. Help. Drowning.
So I'll look up the suicide stats and put them on the blog, because I think for children it's just shattering.
It's shattering. It is.
To stay alive.
Yeah.
Cultural.
And
often they display no sign to the family the day before.
Yeah.
They say they're gone.
It's just.
Why can't they ask for help? It's just baffling.
Social media, bullying, and all that sort of stuff, and the peer pressure. it's just, it's a very different world to grow up in now compared to when we grew up. So different types of pressures, and I get it, but
get out and play in the mud, climb the trees.
Yeah.
Throw the ball at the dog.
Roses. Let it go. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, just let it go. Yeah. So I'm all into like letting it go. But my tip. Oh, hang on, I've got 3 little steps that I would recommend. 1, realistic. Be realistic with your to-do list before you hit burnout. 2, rate what's totally important and what's not, like as into what you actually have to do yourself and what you can delegate, and is it really that important? And 3, reach out to people that can help you, because your lives are enriched when you share and support with others. So, it's people's choices to help and say yes or no. Like, yes, I can help you and I have the capacity to help you, or no, sorry, I just can't. But, it's then on the other person as well, their choice of yes or no. And it's based on their capacity, I suppose.
So the last time I asked for help, I think we had a meeting on Friday with the whole group of lovely people, and they were talking about dementia and how it's forecast to be the biggest killer. I think 2025. And that was baffling me. So I asked, why? Why does it kill? And apparently what happens is you get plaques on the brain, and it shuts down the ability of the brain to control the body.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
So keep active.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn a new language, so.
Yeah, language is super duper duper important. Every word has a vibration and an energy attached to it, and those lower level ones are just dragging you down. And then the higher level ones, and that's where gratitude helps you lift you into those more positive words. But wanting, needing, and all those sort of stuff are words that come from a place of lack, as opposed to I allow, I desire, I choose. They're just all more positive words. But it's that head chatter too, the way you talk to yourself, the things you say to yourself, twist it around. Absolutely.
It's so powerful that I remember my brother picked me up on, about 3 years ago, and he picked me up on, I said, I have to do this, when I get home. And he said, oh, actually, you don't have to, you choose to.
You choose to, yeah, absolutely. I'm big time on yeah.
So liberating to be taught that.
Yeah, and that's all part of this as well, using the right language of like, I know I'm capable, but it's okay. It's okay, and it's okay to give it out to others. And that's that sign of strength again, comfortable in your own skin, and just say I'm actually I can't fit it in. Can you help me, please? Yesterday, I had to accept help. My laptop completely shat itself. It completely went bananas. I had a really busy day. So a good friend went and got it sorted out. I was so thankful. And at the same time, I had a flat tire. So that was gone and sorted out as well. And I just was so grateful for the help, just so grateful. It was just an extremely busy day. And it was
and I didn't realise that Mercedes had flat tyres. I didn't think it was.
It's not even, how old is it? 4 months old, and I've had two bloody things. I've had to put the plugs in them, 2 different wheels within 2 months.
You should have bought a Beamer. They've got run flat tyres.
I've got run flat too, baby. It's just like sick of pumping it up with the, this is so ridiculous, but I'm sick of the bing bing of like the little monitor going off that, check your tyre pressure. It was so annoying me. So I just sorted it out more than anything else. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, get an auto electrician to snip the cord.
Oh, right. Everything's computer run these days. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Harry, I've really enjoyed this subject. I think it's a really important one. And as you said, it affects most people. Just not accepting enough help and asking for help. So just say thanks is the title of my bit today.
And I think yes, I'll put that on blog, and I'll also put Brené Brown's link to her TED Talk on vulnerability.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and she's got that audio book or whatever you can buy. It's fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah, I highly recommend everybody to follow up with Harry's blogs, because they are incredible. Incredible. Like they really are.
They're fun to do. And as always, it's been amazing talking to you, Sal.
Yeah, I love our Tuesdays. I look forward to them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
All
guys.
right.
Well, we'll catch you next week and we'll come up with another fun topic.
See you.
We'll see you
Bye.
later. Bye.